So I remember one time we were teaching this investigator, and this was a powerful moment for me in regards to my testimony, especially regarding prayer. So we had this investigator, and she was fantastic. We'd already had a number of spiritual experiences with her, but we couldn't get her to come to church. We're really struggling to get her to come to church. And I remember we'd set a baptismal date tentatively, but we needed her to start coming to church. And she played softball, which down there actually is very rare. Like I said, normally people play soccer down there. Excuse me, but she was a softball player, and I know one of the reasons she was struggling to come to church is a lot of their games were on Sunday, and we had decided we had made a lesson the night before. We planned we're going to talk about the Sabbath day, and we're really going to nail home, that you need to start coming to church. So we went, and we felt good about this lesson, and we taught it, and we did all this stuff. And she said, I really want to come to church, but I actually have a game this week at 9 a.m., which is when church was. And we were like, well, is there any way you could, just this one week, just come to church? Because we knew if we could get her there, it would be a good experience for her. And she said, well, I can't let my team down. Like, I'm the starting catcher. It's really important. And so we said, well, what would need to happen for your game to get canceled or postponed? She said, well, the only reason they cancel the games is if it rains. And we said, all right, well, we're gonna pray. It's gonna rain. And in Honduras, this was in the middle of the summer. It's not as common to get a lot of rain in the summer. You'll get little storms popping up, but they only last for 15 minutes. It's just not common to get a big storm that time of year. So she kind of laughed, and you could tell she didn't think it was going to happen. And I want to say that was on Thursday or Friday, something like that. So we went home, and we said, okay, we told her we're going to get a rainstorm. So we started a fast, and we fasted the next day, and we were praying, and Heavenly Father, we really need this rainstorm. We really want her to come to church. And I remember we figured, if this game's going to get canceled, it needs to start raining Saturday. And so I remember we woke up on Saturday morning, and we're thinking, okay, this is the day. I went out and looked, not a cloud in the sky. Just the bluest sky you've ever seen. I thought, that's okay. It's Honduras. Storms blow in all the time. And so we got up, we went about our day. About lunchtime, we had lunch, and then we came out, and still, not even a cloud in the sky. And it was a little disheartening, but we said, nope, we're going to keep praying, we're going to keep going, and we went through our lessons that day, and I remember about 4 o'clock, we went into a lesson. Like I said, still blue, no clouds. We came out of that lesson, and it was just the blackest sky I think I have ever seen. Just out of nowhere, in 40 minutes, this massive storm had just rolled in, and it just started to pour. And I was never so happy on my mission to be that drenched. We were just soaked through the rest of the night. And I remember it rained through the night. And then we woke up in the morning, and storm was over. And we went to church, and in walked this investigator, and we were super excited. And she came in and sat down next to us and said, remind me to never ask you guys to pray for anything again, because good grief, it definitely happens. That was a cool moment for me, just that God does answer prayers, and He is definitely listening and wants to help the missionaries. One story it was super crazy. So we had one of the 70 was coming to our mission to talk, and the area that I was in was a 12-hour bus ride away from the mission home where the 70 was going to be, the area where the 70 was going to be speaking. And so they had said that they weren't going to bring in the missionaries from the areas that were really far away. They were going to have our zone leaders go and then give us a training on what was said. But my companion and I really wanted to go. And I had problems with ingrown toenails throughout my mission, and I had one that needed to get taken care of. And my companion needed a temple recommend interview. And so we said, okay, well, if we're going to talk to the APs, we're going to say, look, this is why we need to come, because, we're doing this. So it's just convenient to come up when he's here. And so we got permission to go. And so I remember we got up at midnight and got dressed and went to the bus station at 1 a.m. and got on the bus, and we were exhausted, but we were super excited because we were going to get to go to this zone conference with the 70. And about halfway there, when we had gotten on the bus, there was this older lady and her grandson had gotten on the bus. About halfway there, all of a sudden the bus stops. We were kind of in the back, so we didn't know what was going on. And we stop, and we're just at one of the bus stops, and we're just stopped for I think we were there for an hour and a half. Just a really long time. And about 40 minutes into waiting, we're like, well, this, normally we stop at the bus stop for about 10 minutes, and then we're off. So we went up, and this grandson and his grandmother were on the way to San Pedro to go to the hospital. His grandma was sick, and she'd actually passed away on the bus, which was definitely not something I expected to happen. And so we had to wait for the police to come and, kind of help the grandson out, take care of the body, and crazy things will happen on the bus that I was not prepared for.